Hey everyone, welcome back to Daily Cup English. I'm Liam.
And I'm Chloe. We're really happy to have you here today.
Yeah, whether you're listening while commuting, cooking, walking, or just taking a short break, thanks for spending some time with us.
And before we get started, just a quick reminder, if you enjoy listening to natural English conversations like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Exactly. We upload new podcast episodes every day, so make sure you follow Daily Cup English and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything.
Our goal here is pretty simple. We want to help you improve your English through real-life conversations. No pressure, no complicated explanations, just natural listening.
Right, just two people talking about everyday topics, sharing personal experiences, different opinions, and sometimes even disagreeing a little.
And today's topic is something we all think about at some point in our lives.
Yeah, today we're talking about creating meaning in everyday life.
It sounds a bit deep, but don't worry, we're not going to get too philosophical.
No big speeches, no life lessons written on a whiteboard.
Just an honest conversation about how we personally understand meaning and how it shows up or doesn't show up in our daily lives.
Because let's be honest, most days aren't special, they're just normal.
Exactly, and that's why this topic matters.
So, Chloe, when you hear the phrase creating meaning in everyday life, what comes to mind first?
Honestly, my first thought is how confusing that idea used to be for me.
Confusing how?
Well, when I was younger, I thought meaning had to be something big, like having a perfect career, doing something important, or changing the world in some way.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
I felt like if my life didn't look impressive from the outside, then it probably didn't mean much.
So what changed?
Over time, I realized that thinking like that actually made me feel more empty. I was always waiting for some big moment to give my life meaning.
Like you were waiting for life to start.
Exactly. And meanwhile, real life was happening every day, and I was kind of ignoring it.
That's interesting, because for me, I still struggle with that idea sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, I understand that small things can be meaningful, but part of me still asks, is that really enough?
Enough for what?
Enough to say, yeah, my life has meaning. Drinking coffee in the morning, answering emails, doing chores, it doesn't always feel meaningful.
I get that. I don't think meaning automatically appears in those moments.
So you think we have to add meaning to them?
In a way, yes. I think meaning is less about what we do and more about how we experience what we do.
That sounds nice, but also a bit hard to do in real life.
It is hard. Some days I feel it, some days I don't.
So meaning isn't something you feel all the time?
Not at all. And I think that's an important point. We put too much pressure on ourselves to feel inspired every day.
Yeah, like if we don't feel motivated or happy, something must be wrong.
Exactly. But maybe meaning doesn't always feel exciting. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's just feeling okay with where you are.
I like that idea, but I'm not fully convinced yet.
That's fine. I don't think we have to agree on everything.
Good, because I definitely have more questions about this.
Great. That's what this conversation is for.
So let me ask you this, Chloe. When you think about a normal weekday, does it really feel meaningful to you?
Most of the time, not in a dramatic way, no.
Exactly, that's what I mean. I wake up, check my phone, rush through breakfast, go to work, sit in front of a screen, come home, eat dinner, maybe watch something, and then sleep. And then I do it all again the next day.
That sounds very familiar.
And when life feels like that, it's hard for me to say, yeah, this is meaningful. It just feels repetitive.
I don't disagree. Routines can feel boring and empty, especially when we're tired or stressed.
So how do you personally deal with that? Because you sound more okay with routines than I am.
I think I used to hate routines too. I felt like they were stealing my time.
Stealing your time.
Yeah, like every day was being taken away by the same tasks, and I wasn't really living.
That's exactly how I feel sometimes.
But then I realized something. Routines are unavoidable. We can't escape them unless we completely change our lives.
True, we all have responsibilities.
Right, so instead of fighting routines, I started paying attention to small moments inside them.
Like what?
For example, my morning routine. I still wake up early and get ready for work. That hasn't changed, but now I try not to rush everything.
Easier said than done.
Very true, but even small changes help. I make my coffee slowly. I don't check my phone for the first 10 minutes. I look out the window while I drink my coffee.
And that makes it meaningful?
It doesn't suddenly change my life, but it makes the morning feel calmer, and that calm feeling matters to me.
I guess I usually do the opposite. I wake up and immediately think about what I need to do.
Most people do.
And then the whole day feels like a long to-do list.
Exactly. And when life becomes only about finishing tasks, it's easy to lose any sense of meaning.
But what about work? You can't just slow down all the time at work.
No, you can't. And I'm not saying work should always feel meaningful.
That's good to hear.
Sometimes work is just work, and that's okay. The problem starts when we expect every part of our day to feel important or exciting.
So you're saying meaning doesn't have to be everywhere.
Exactly. It can exist in small pockets of the day.
I like that phrase, small pockets.
For example, a short conversation with a coworker, a quiet walk after dinner, cooking a simple meal and actually enjoying it.
I guess I usually ignore those moments.
Most of us do because we're always thinking about the next thing.
So routines aren't the enemy.
No, our mindset towards them is.
That's a bit uncomfortable to hear.
Why?
Because it means I can't blame my schedule anymore.
Exactly, and trust me, I've tried blaming my schedule too.
So meaning isn't about escaping daily life.
No, it's about showing up in it, even when it feels ordinary.
I'm not fully convinced yet, but I'm starting to see your point.
That's enough for now. You don't have to change your mind overnight.
Fair enough, but I think this connects to something else, those small moments that suddenly stay in your mind.
Yes, the moments you don't expect to matter, but they do. You know, it's funny how the moments that stay with us are often not the big ones we plan.
Yeah, they kind of sneak up on you.
Exactly. You don't wake up thinking today will be meaningful, but then something small happens and it stays in your mind for days.
I had one of those moments recently, actually.
Really? What happened?
It was nothing special. I was at a grocery store after a long day, feeling tired and honestly a bit annoyed.
That already sounds very real.
I was standing in line, and the cashier noticed I looked stressed. She didn't say much, just smiled and said, "Hey, take your time. There's no rush."
That's nice.
It was such a small thing, but it completely changed my mood. I left the store feeling lighter.
And that moment probably didn't mean much to her.
Exactly. She probably forgot about it 5 minutes later, but for me, it mattered.
That's what I love about small moments. They don't need attention or praise to be meaningful.
They just happen.
Yes, and sometimes we only realize their value when we look back.
I had another moment like that from the other side.
What do you mean?
I helped an older neighbor carry some heavy bags upstairs. I almost didn't do it because I was in a hurry.
But you did.
Yeah, and she started telling me a short story about her day. Nothing deep, just her normal life.
And that stayed with you?
It did. Not because of the story itself, but because I felt connected to someone even for a few minutes.
That feeling of connection is powerful.
It is, and it made me realize that meaning often comes from being present with other people.
I agree. For me, some of the most meaningful moments are quiet ones.
Like what?
Walking home in the evening when the street is calm, listening to the sounds around me, not thinking about my phone or tomorrow.
Just being there.
Exactly. Those moments help me feel grounded.
I don't think I allow myself those moments very often.
Why not?
I guess I feel guilty, like if I'm not doing something productive, I'm wasting time.
That's such a common feeling.
But when I think about it, the moments I remember most are not productive at all.
Same here. I don't remember most workdays clearly, but I remember simple conversations, laughter, or even silence with someone I care about.
So maybe meaning isn't loud.
No, most of the time, it's very quiet.
That makes me think differently about my days.
How so?
Instead of asking, "Did I achieve something important today?" maybe I should ask, Did I notice anything that mattered?
I love that question.
I'm surprised to hear myself say that.
Growth can sound like that sometimes.
So small moments matter because they remind us we're human.
And because they connect us to ourselves, to others, and to the present moment.
I guess meaning doesn't always need a big reason.
No, sometimes it just needs attention.
That's a good place to pause and think.
And it naturally leads to another question.
Let me guess, work?
Exactly. So yeah, work. I feel like we can't talk about meaning without talking about work.
Absolutely. Work takes up such a big part of our lives.
Sometimes it feels like it takes up most of our lives.
For a long time, I thought my job was the main source of meaning for me.
In what way?
I believed that if I worked hard, got better positions, and achieved certain goals, I would feel fulfilled.
Did it work?
At first, yes. Every achievement felt exciting. I felt proud of myself.
But I'm guessing that feeling didn't last.
Not really. After a while, each success felt smaller. I quickly moved on to the next goal.
Like you were always chasing something.
Exactly. And I didn't realize how tired I was until I stopped for a moment.
I had a similar experience. I used to connect my self-worth directly to my work.
That's dangerous.
It is, because when work goes well, you feel great, but when it doesn't, you start questioning yourself.
Yeah, a bad day at work could ruin my whole mood.
Same. I would bring that stress home and let it affect everything else.
So how did you change that?
Slowly, I started asking myself why I was working so hard.
And what did you find?
I realized I wanted security, independence, and a sense of contribution, but I didn't need work to define my entire identity.
That makes sense.
Now, I still care about my job. I want to do it well, but I don't expect it to give my life all its meaning.
That's a big shift.
It is, and it wasn't easy.
I'm still in the middle of that process, to be honest.
What's the hardest part for you?
Letting go of comparison, seeing other people succeed faster or earn more money.
Comparison is tough.
It makes you feel like you're behind, even if you're doing okay.
And when you feel behind, it's hard to appreciate what you already have.
Exactly. Suddenly your work feels meaningless even though it supports your life.
I think work can be meaningful, but it shouldn't be the only place we look for meaning.
So work is part of the picture, not the whole picture.
Yes, it can give structure, purpose, and sometimes pride, but meaning also comes from how we live outside of work.
That takes pressure off, actually.
It does, and it allows work to just be work sometimes.
Which is okay.
Very okay.
This also connects to relationships, I think.
Definitely, because when work becomes everything, relationships often suffer.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
And that's where a lot of meaning can be found.
All right, let's talk about that. So yeah, relationships. This is where things get real.
Very real, and also very complicated.
For a long time, I didn't think much about relationships when I thought about meaning.
Why not?
I think I saw them as something extra, like something you deal with after work when you have time.
That's a common mindset.
But looking back, the moments that feel most meaningful usually involve other people.
Same for me, even the difficult moments.
Especially the difficult ones, actually.
Exactly. Relationships aren't always comfortable, but they shape us.
I used to believe that independence was the most important thing.
Independence is important.
It is, but I confused independence with not needing anyone.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, I avoided asking for help because I didn't want to seem weak.
I've been there, but letting people in can be meaningful too.
It really can. Some of my closest relationships became stronger after honest, uncomfortable conversations.
Those conversations can be scary.
But they make you feel seen.
And being seen is powerful.
I also realized that relationships don't need to be perfect to be meaningful.
That's such an important point.
We often expect people to understand us completely.
Which is unrealistic.
Very. But meaning comes from effort, patience, and showing up even when it's messy.
I think meaning in relationships often comes from presence, not big gestures.
What do you mean by that?
Being fully there when someone talks. Listening without planning your response, sharing silence.
Silence is underrated.
It really is. Some of my most meaningful moments were just sitting next to someone, not saying much.
That reminds me of time with my family.
Yeah?
We don't always have deep conversations. Sometimes we just eat together or watch TV, but those moments feel grounding.
They create a sense of belonging.
And belonging adds meaning to life.
Absolutely. Without connection, life can feel very empty, even if everything else looks good.
I felt that before.
Me too. That's why I try to protect my relationships now.
Protect them how?
By giving them time. by being honest, by not always putting work first.
That's something I'm still learning.
It's a process.
So relationships are not just a part of life, they're a big source of meaning.
Yes, and they remind us that we're not meant to do everything alone.
That also leads to a bigger question, though.
Let me guess, about meaning itself?
Exactly. Do we create meaning, or do we discover it along the way?
That's a good question.
So here's what I keep thinking about. Do we actually create meaning, or do we just discover it along the way?
I've thought about that a lot too, and honestly, I lean more toward discovering it.
Really? I'm the opposite.
I'm not surprised.
I feel like if we don't actively create meaning, life just stays neutral or even empty.
I get that, but for me, meaning often shows up when I stop trying so hard.
That's the part I struggle with. If I stop trying, I feel like I'm doing nothing.
Maybe that's because we're taught that effort always equals value.
Isn't that true, though?
Sometimes, but not always. Think about the small moments we talked about earlier.
Like the grocery store moment.
Exactly. You didn't plan that. You didn't work for it. It just happened.
True, but I had to be open enough to notice it.
That's fair. Maybe it's not about creating or discovering, but about awareness.
I like that idea, but I still think intention matters.
How so?
I think meaning grows when we choose how to respond to life, even difficult situations.
I agree with that. I just don't think we can force meaning into existence.
So you believe meaning already exists and we just find it?
In many cases, yes, especially in relationships and everyday experiences.
What about people who feel completely lost?
I think they're not broken, they're just disconnected from themselves or from others.
And you don't think action helps?
It does, but sometimes action means slowing down, not pushing forward.
That's hard for me to accept.
I know, you like to fix things.
Guilty.
But not everything needs fixing. Some things need space.
So maybe meaning is something we create and discover.
That's where I was hoping you'd land.
We create the conditions and then meaning appears.
Yes, through attention, presence, and choice.
I can live with that.
See, we don't disagree that much.
Just enough to keep the conversation interesting.
Exactly.
This also makes me think about harder days.
The days when meaning feels far away.
Yeah, those days.
Yeah, the hard days. I think those are the days when this topic really matters.
Definitely. It's easy to talk about meaning when life feels smooth.
But on hard days, the idea of meaning can feel almost annoying.
Yeah, like someone telling you to stay positive when you're exhausted.
Exactly. There are days when I wake up and feel heavy, even without a clear reason.
Same here. And on those days, I don't feel inspired or grateful. I just want the day to end.
I used to think that meant something was wrong with me.
Me too, like I was failing at life somehow.
But now I see those days differently.
How so?
I don't try to find meaning in them anymore.
That's interesting. You don't?
No, on hard days, my goal is just to get through the day with kindness toward myself.
That already sounds meaningful, actually.
Maybe, but I don't label it that way in the moment. I just focus on small things.
Like what?
Drinking enough water, going for a short walk, replying to one message instead of all of them.
Lowering the expectations.
Exactly, because when we expect hard days to feel meaningful, we add more pressure.
I usually do the opposite. I start asking myself, what's the point of all this?
That question can be dangerous.
Yeah, it makes everything feel heavier.
I think hard days are not about meaning, they're about endurance.
Just staying.
Yes, staying present, staying alive in the moment, even if it's uncomfortable.
That makes sense. Some days don't teach us lessons, they just pass.
And that's okay.
I wish more people said that.
Me too. Life isn't always a story with a message.
But looking back, even hard days can shape us.
They can, but we often see that later, not during the day itself.
So meaning doesn't always appear immediately.
No, sometimes it comes much later when we realize how strong we were.
Or how gentle we learn to be with ourselves.
Exactly.
That changes how I think about meaningful life.
In what way?
It feels less like a goal and more like a relationship with life, with ourselves.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
And maybe that means we don't need to do anything special.
Sometimes just continuing is enough.
Which makes me think about how we add meaning without trying so hard.
Simple ways, right?
Yeah, without pressure.
Yeah, without pressure. That part is really important.
I think pressure is what ruins the idea of meaning for a lot of people.
Absolutely. When meaning becomes something we have to find, it turns into another task.
Another item on the to-do list.
Exactly, and life already has enough of those.
So how do you add meaning without making it feel like work?
For me, it starts with paying attention to what actually makes me feel calm or connected.
Not what should make you feel that way.
Yes, that difference matters. I stopped forcing habits just because they looked meaningful online.
I know what you mean.
Now I focus on very simple things that fit naturally into my day.
Like what?
Taking care of my body in small ways, eating slowly, getting enough sleep when I can.
That sounds almost too simple.
That's the point. Meaning doesn't need to be complicated.
I've noticed that when I take better care of myself, I'm more patient with others.
And patience creates better moments.
Another thing for me is doing one small thing for someone else each day.
I love that.
Nothing big, sending a kind message, letting someone go first, listening without interrupting.
Those moments add up.
They do, and they don't feel forced.
I also try to be honest with myself about what I value.
How so?
If I value peace, then I don't say yes to everything. If I value connection, I make time to talk to people I care about.
That takes courage.
It does, but it makes life feel more aligned.
I like that word, aligned.
When your actions match your values, meaning often follows naturally.
I've experienced that too, especially when I stop comparing my life to others.
Comparison steals meaning so quickly.
It really does. Suddenly, nothing feels enough.
So, adding meaning sometimes means removing things
Removing pressure, removing expectations.
and allowing life to be imperfect.
That's harder than it sounds.
Of course, but it's a practice, not a rule.
I like that this approach feels gentle.
Life doesn't need to be intense all the time to be meaningful.
That makes me think about how meaning changes as we grow.
Yes, it definitely does.
You know, talking about simple ways to add meaning, it makes me think about how our idea of meaning changes over time.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like what mattered to me at 20 is very different from what matters now.
Same here. When I was younger, I thought success, achievements, and social recognition were the main sources of meaning.
Exactly, and I thought meaning had to be something dramatic, like traveling the world or making a big difference.
And now?
Now, I find meaning in smaller things: a calm morning, good conversations, taking care of myself and others.
I've noticed that too. The big achievements still feel good, but they're not the only thing that makes life feel valuable.
I think that's the beauty of growing older. We start appreciating the ordinary moments more.
Yeah, and we also stop putting so much pressure on ourselves to find meaning in every single thing.
Exactly. Meaning doesn't have to be constant or extreme. It can be quiet, subtle, and still very real.
It's kind of freeing when you realize that. Life doesn't have to be epic all the time.
And it's okay if some days feel empty or routine. Those days still contribute to the bigger picture of your life.
Looking back, I can see how even the boring or hard days shaped me.
Me too. And I think the older we get, the more we understand that meaning is flexible. It can change with our values, relationships, and experiences.
I like that idea. Flexible. It makes life feel more manageable.
And more human. Meaning isn't a fixed destination. It's something we discover, create, and experience differently at each stage of life.
So what mattered to me at 25 isn't the same as what matters at 30, and that's okay.
Absolutely. And it allows us to be kinder to ourselves when we don't feel inspired or successful every day.
I think that's an important reminder. Life isn't about constantly achieving. It's about noticing, being present, and learning from the small moments.
Yes, and reflecting on the changes in what we value also gives us a sense of growth.
It makes me more patient with myself, more forgiving when I feel lost.
Exactly. And maybe that's the ultimate meaning, learning to live with awareness and compassion.
I like that. It's simple but powerful.
It is, and the great thing is, this kind of meaning is available to anyone at any age.
That's reassuring, because we all have days when nothing seems meaningful.
And that's normal. Life is a mix of clarity and confusion. Both are necessary.
I think that's why reflecting on how meaning changes over time is so valuable. It helps us see the bigger picture.
Exactly, and it makes the small, everyday moments feel a lot more important.
Yeah, even just sitting here talking with you feels meaningful.
I feel the same, Liam.
All right, so we've covered routines, small moments, work, relationships, hard days, and reflection.
Yeah, and I think it all comes together in a simple truth. Meaning is everywhere if we're willing to notice it.
Well said. So, Chloe, as we wrap up today, what's the main takeaway you'd like listeners to remember?
I'd say it's that meaning isn't something we need to chase desperately.
Yeah, it's not always in big achievements or life-changing moments.
Exactly. It's in small things, everyday moments, and in the way we show up for ourselves and others.
I think that's something I needed to hear, especially about being okay with quiet, ordinary days.
Those quiet days are just as important as the exciting ones, sometimes more.
And I like the idea that meaning can be flexible. It changes as we grow, as we reflect, and as we experience life.
Yes, so if you're listening and feeling like life doesn't always make sense, that's okay. You're allowed to have ordinary days. You're allowed to feel unsure.
Exactly. The important part is to keep noticing, keep showing up, and keep living with awareness.
And to be gentle with yourself along the way.
Yeah, life is full of ups and downs, and every moment, big or small, has the potential to be meaningful.
So take your time, pay attention to the little things, and allow meaning to appear naturally.
That feels like a good note to end on.
Before we say goodbye, just a quick reminder for our listeners.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, make sure to subscribe to Daily Cup English.
And follow us every day. We post new episodes daily, so there's always something new to listen to.
Also, share this episode with someone who might need a gentle reminder that meaning is everywhere, even in the small, ordinary moments.
And if you want, leave us a comment or message. We love hearing your thoughts and experiences.
Thanks for spending time with us today. We hope this conversation helps you notice the meaning in your own everyday life.
Take care, be kind to yourself, and see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.